Question: should illegal and undocumented foreigners qualify for the Road Accident Fund? That is the agenda of the day at the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein today. So, the Road Accident Fund is appealing a judgment that was made last year, right? Whereby now the Gauteng High Court ruled against the Road Accident Fund, saying that they should pay undocumented foreigners that were appealing the decision of Road Accident Fund not to pay them because of a directive that was tabled by the then Minister of Transport, Fikile Mbalula, in 2022. The directive was simple, right? Illegal foreigners, undocumented foreigners should not qualify for the Road Accident Fund. Now, the panel of judges in the Gauteng High Court looked at the directive and found big problems, right? They ruled it as unconstitutional, invalid, outside of the powers given to the minister under the Road Accident Fund. So these 4 applicants that took the Road Accident Fund to court, to the High Court in Gauteng, won the appeal, and Road Accident Fund was ordered to pay them. Now, after multiple efforts by the Road Accident Fund, they were finally granted leave of appeal, right? And the appeal is now underway, and I will be updating you. It'll probably take a few months, and if they lose this appeal as well, you'll most definitely expect them to take it to where? Constitutional Court. Now, good people, the thing is, what you call this? Is it human rights groups? Human rights groups are arguing that the decision to exclude illegal foreigners was unconstitutional. But illegal foreigners, is there anything constitutional about that? Let's begin there. Illegal, undocumented foreigners, is there anything constitutional about that? So instead of jumping that fact and going straight to who has a right to be paid and who doesn't, let's get to the crux of the matter. Why are they here illegally? Why are they violating the Immigration Act? Or what? Does the Constitution doesn't count when it comes to... Okay, it's fine.
The highest that has ever been paid in South Africa, according to my knowledge, is a guy from Switzerland who was a businessman who came to visit the country legally and got into a car accident. And they had to compensate him in accordance to the monies, which I don't know what it's called in Switzerland. But in rands, it was calculated over 500 million.
It's fine. So he came and got 500 million from South Africa and left.
And he left.
Yeah, you don't have
to be South African to claim from the RAF. You just have to be injured on South African roads. Attorneys from the Road Accident Fund are currently challenging a High Court ruling that deemed it unethical to deny the payout to undocumented foreign nationals, saying that as long as someone has been injured on South African roads or has been in an accident on South African roads, is entitled to the payout regardless of documentation status. It's been made clear that no one within South African borders may be excluded from enjoying or benefiting from the funds, as per the Road Accident Fund Act 56 of 1996, regardless of citizenship or immigration status. This whole debacle dates back to June 2022, when the RAF had released a new regulation stating that you will not qualify for the payout if you cannot prove that you were in South Africa legally at the time of the accident. The court had overturned these new regulations, stating that all foreign nationals, regardless of documentation status, have a right to claim from the fund, as shown in the case of a Zimbabwean national whose work permit was expired by the time of his accident in Randburg. He was paid out 960,000 rands for the loss of earnings due to the accident, and the court dismissed the case. Now, everybody who is a victim of an accident deserves justice and compensation for their trauma. However, this is serving as another example of how the country is turning into a welfare state for everybody else except its citizens. The gag is, I don't think any of us are actually hating on people from other countries. I don't believe it's xenophobia. It is unfairness, and the people of South Africa are tired of it. Being consistently taxed, or having your gross salary consistently taxed in order to support and maintain state facilities and, benefits and all of that, only to know that you're sharing it with a person who lives here, who works here, who enjoys those same facilities and platforms and entities with you, but doesn't pay for them. If the South African government is so adamant on providing asylum for foreign nationals, which I think is a very beautiful thing, naturalize them so that they can finally be taxed. Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you what's going to happen. There are us who are paying for the taxes. There are those that aren't. But everybody is enjoying. That is going to create a deficit where now we as South Africans are going to have to be paid higher so that we can make sure that everybody enjoys what was meant to only be for us. So it's not a thing of, oh, you're from another country, you don't deserve this. There's no such thing as a native South African. There is such thing as a South African citizen. Because if we're being real, no one is native to South Africa except Khoisan people, the Khoikhoi, the San. However, because all of us are contributing to the tax, it's not a thing about where you come from. It's what are you doing where you are at. If you are so adamant on sharing these resources with people from other countries, then let them pay tax. If we're going to enjoy the same thing, let us pay the same price. It's not xenophobia. It is unfairness and unjustness that is unfortunately put on the South African people. It is very unreasonable to ask a country where the unemployment rate is so high to continue funding the, healthcare of people that don't contribute to the economy and don't contribute to, well, they may contribute to the economy, to people that don't contribute to the taxes that are being paid to maintain these things. In closing, I just want to reiterate my question. What is the justification behind not naturalizing these citizens or these undocumented foreign nationals if you are so adamant on having them enjoy state benefits, in government facilities, things that are supported by the work of South Africans? If you understand that it is our duty to give a home to people, does that person not need to start contributing to the home? Because the effect is, it's not xenophobia, it's injustice to the South African citizens.
A few people have said in my comments that the Road Accident Fund must stop processing claims or accepting claims from non-South Africans. Now, the RAF Act as it is right now does not differentiate between a South African and a non-South African. Anybody who's been in an accident and it's not their fault that the accident happened can claim from the Road Accident Fund. That is the law. But my position is that the law must change so that we can do what they do, for instance, in Europe, in the European Union, for example. If you travel there, you must take medical insurance. They won't give you a visa without medical insurance. Take medical insurance so that if you get sick or injured via a car accident or something else, your own insurance is going to pay for your medical expenses. That's what we must do here in South Africa. So I agree that the law must change. There is going to be a bill put through Parliament, hopefully before the end of this year. It's called the RABS bill, R-A-B-S bill. There's going to be a process of public consultation and taking public input. There will be an email address that is provided by Parliament for you to make inputs. Please participate in the process of Parliament. Make your submissions by email. They don't need to be long. It can be 2 lines, 3 lines, or whatever. Just say your name, provide your full details, and say you think that the new act must specify that it covers South Africans, etc., etc. So let's please do that. I also want to address misinformation. There are people who believe, and I saw a comment on one of the Parliament videos that I did in the last couple of days, saying that 97% of Road Accident Fund money goes to foreigners. This is not true. It's actually 1.02%. To give you a specific number, in 2023-2024 financial year, the Road Accident Fund paid out about 43 billion rand in claims. 546 million of that went to non-South Africans. 546 million. So 10% of 43 billion is 4.3 billion. 1% of 43 billion is 430 billion. So it's just over 1% that went to non-South Africans. So we always just have to be careful with numbers that are just put out, especially by accounts with no name and no face or something we heard on the street. I will always try and do my best to give you the facts. If you've been waiting for your claim, it's taken long and so on, please follow our inquiry on YouTube. We are looking into those matters, and they have nothing to do with non-South Africans. As I've just told you, over 98% or nearly 99% of payouts are to South Africans. So it can't be foreigners because the volume is just too small. There are other problems at the Road Accident Fund. We are going to discuss some of them today to provide an insight into why people's claims are not being accepted, why people's claims are taking long to process, why so many things that people complain about. That's what our inquiry is about. So please follow it. It's on YouTube, on the Parliament channel. We are going on until the middle of November. But once again, I agree that people who are not South African must take medical insurance so that if they get injured, their insurance pays for them. And only South Africans benefit from the Road Accident Fund, number one. Number two, don't believe everything you hear on the internet. The number is 43 billion in total, 546 million to non-South Africans. That's 1,01, 1,03 or whatever the case might be. I thank you.